Hi there, so here we have the new Porsche Taycan. Just a little video here to show you a bit of the internal controls. Little demonstration. This particular car is a Taycan Turbo. Depending on what options, then this video will be useful for all variants of Taycan, including two-wheel drive, 4S and Turbo S2. So we'll start with the steering wheel and the controls on here, moving over to the main PCM screen and then down to your quick menu on here. So let's get started. On the driver's door here, quite simply, we have the front windows, the rear windows, and then you have the wing mirrors activated by clicking the left hand side, up, down, left and right for the passenger wing mirror, and then also right to the driver's, up, down, left and right also. You've also got the button here which locks the rear windows, which stops the kids playing with the controls. Keeping on the driver's door here, you have the open and close, and then once you've set your seat up and your steering column up, you can then push set and then hold one, and then you'll hear a beep there, and that will store your settings and your wing mirrors in on number one. This is in conjunction with memory comfort seats, adaptive sports seats and driver memory package. So moving over to the steering wheel on here now. This particular one has the Alcantara steering wheel, which does feel fantastic. You've also got the controls, heated steering wheel button is on there, and it comes up on the dash there, on and off on there. Again, this is an option depending on what model you have. Coming on the controls on here, you have this button here with the two arrows, and that flicks across on the menu, as you can see on here. The roller next to it manages to scroll up and down to give you various different options on here, such as satellite navigation, map on the right hand side, trip computer, sports chrono package, drive mode, which is pretty useful, and you can scroll down on there depending what you wish to have. Push this button here, scrolls over to the left hand side. Again, depending on the options you have on the vehicle, this one has the speed camera, speed limit recognition, so you've got there 5 miles per hour. And again, you can scroll up and down to give you any of the other options, such as G-force mode, all-wheel drive, PDCC, which is your dynamic chassis control. So this particular car does have quite a few options, with it being the turbo, so depending on what you have, you may have a shorter list on here as well. Push back to go to the middle, you've got your main speed on there, and you can scroll down and then select on the roller, and then you have the map on there as well. You can also scroll down to extended map, and then that will make it even larger for you. To get back out of this, you simply scroll back up to the power meter, back to giving you the speedo. Right roller flicks you back to the right hand side on here. Once you've got the drive modes on here, this again is in conjunction with the sports chrono package, which means you'll have the drive mode button on the steering wheel and you'll have the chrono clock on the dashboard. This on here, by turning this round clockwise, you can put around to sport, which tightens the car up, makes your throttle more responsive, and then around to sport plus as well. You can see also here that it will also stiffen up your suspension and also lower it with the air suspension when you are in the Sport Plus mode. You can also then flick it back around to range. This will lower the vehicle, and also it will state on here that it will limit you to 70 miles per hour because it is adding range onto your battery. So being a little bit better, wind resistant on a longer journey, range mode is probably recommended on there as well. Coming over to the left hand side, you've got your voice control button on here, which you can push, and then it'll ask you to ask for various things such as call home, take me to, and then a postcode. That'll all do on there as well. Just close that on the PCM. The volume is on here as well for your radio or media that you're listening to at the time. And then you've also got the regen button on here, so you push that button and it'll come up, as you saw on here, a battery with a little circle around it. So the regen means that when you've got that on, when you take your foot off the accelerator, the car will on purposely slow down and regenerate on its own without you having to brake. If you want the feeling of a normal car, not an electric one, you keep that off. and then when you brake, the car will regenerate 90% worth, and 10% of it is actually braking with the discs. So very, very, very clever technology. So you can have that on and off on there as well. Cruise control, quite simply, push the N button, comes up on here for the cruise, push the N button again to turn off, but again to activate, push away to activate, and then pull towards you to slow down and speed up. You've got your indicators on the left hand side, up to the right, down to the left. Push away for full beam, push away. On this particular one, it's got the automatic headlights, so it's got the little A in the green, which means that on your car, it'll have the full beam assist on there also. So coming on to your main PCM screen on here, you would usually have your name when you are logged in on here. This is currently shown as guest for this demonstration purposes. You've got your home button on here at the top right, which brings you to this main screen. Satellite navigation in here, search up in there, and then you can go full postcode into the top on there. You can also store your home and work address if you wish in there, and favourites, which you can store in there as well. Obviously no fuel stations needed, so your charging stations, you can search there for your nearest ones. So obviously some small ones there. Depending on where you are, they are your nearest ones on here. You've also got your Porsche charging services on there, which you can see if there's anything close to you on there. Parking for your amenities, and also your restaurant as well on there. Depending on what you're wanting to find, you've got your cafe and bars, hotel and petrol stations and airports on there. So pretty straightforward sat nav, takes you back on here, back to the nav, and you can, depending on what you wish to do, you can make it smaller and larger. You've got options on the bottom left hand side there, which you can go with your route options and your navigation settings such as volume. Takes you back to the map on here, back to home on there. You've got your media on here. So again on here you've got your DAB radio. Press play, that's a nice clean screen about what you're actually listening to. You can go onto your list, change your relevant radio stations on here. If you want to store a favourite, let's for instance store radio 2, you just hold that down. Comes up on here, add favourite, and push it on there to start. Therefore in your favourites, there it is. And you can take some time, you can store them as well. And then depending on your options on your vehicle, if you've got the Bose surround sound, you can push Bose on here, and you can have that set to the surround sound on there. You can play with the bass and the treble, and you can move it around with the fade and balance on there as well. Otherwise, that is pretty much your radio on there. Back to your home screen on here, then your phone, pretty straightforward. Make sure that your device is visible and your Bluetooth is on. Search on here, it'll come up with your phone name on here, search, pair to your phone, and away you go with your contacts on there as well. When you're on here and your phone is paired up, you can go to devices and it'll show your name of your phone on here, and it'll have a blue next to the phone to show that it's paired to the Bluetooth, blue next to the music, and then you've also got the button down here which you push to get to your Wi-Fi settings. This has to be ticked if you want your Apple CarPlay to work. So when you've done your Apple CarPlay on there, when you've done your wireless, it'll come up on here with the same triangular, a circle around it for your Apple CarPlay. Push that and that will activate your Apple CarPlay, knocking off your Bluetooth and your media music, and your Apple CarPlay symbol will come up here as on the right hand side, giving you 5 thumbnails on the top. Push the Apple CarPlay and that'll come up on there for you to use also. On here you've also got the charge, so you can push the charge on here. So it shows you the charge. We can see we're very low on this at the moment, so we'll have to charge this vehicle. The overview is not showing you at the moment because it's not charged enough. You've got your timer, which you can add a timer to charge if you wish, if you need to. And you can also set up profiles as well. So depending on if there's 2 of you that drive the vehicle, you can set different times up on there as well. Pre-cool and preheat. This is where you can set your temperature, and you can also tick here, so when you open it, it will detect on how hot or cold the weather is. For instance, if it's cold at the moment and you've got this ticked, when you unlock the car, your heated steering wheel and heated seats will be on automatically. So that's quite a nifty option if you like to turn them on when you're getting anyway. Aircon I'll come back to shortly. Services, that's just showing you on here If anything's due, obviously a long way off at the moment because they're still new. Updates on here, weather, info, and you've also got your onboard driver's manual as well. This is quite useful, shows you some video instructions on here, but it's all on there for you that loads up, and then you can see exactly different things if you want to search on your car. On here on the right hand side, you've got your car button. That takes you to the car modes. So as I mentioned, on the steering wheel, you can change that on there. You can see the drive modes changing on there without even touching the screen to the Sport and Sport Plus, or you can individually do it on here. The sound, Sport Sound, is a fantastic option which you can turn on there as well. Okay. The thing is with it, every time if you want to turn it on, you get in the vehicle, this will be off, so you have to go into car every time and turn it on there that way, which is a little bit annoying. So if you hold the diamond button down on here, which we've just done now, this will come up on here to change this favourite button. That's what the diamond button is. You can select on there your steering wheel favourite, and if you select Sport Sound on there and come back out of it, it means that every time you get in the vehicle, all you need to basically do is push the diamond button on there.
How can I help you?
Turn the voice control off. You can turn that on there, and you can see on and off just by flicking the button. So that's really useful on there for you as well. Again, up on the top, depending on what options you've got on the vehicle, you've got your assistance settings as well. So you've got your basic assistance, which means that the car will apply braking if it feels like it's going to be an incident, and you've got your lane keep assist, which is ticked on at the moment, but again, you can turn that off. Trip computer, if you want to record your charging journeys, you can do that as well as your comfort. So on here, this is where your ambient lighting is, so you can change what percentage of brightness you want there, and also on what colour you want as well on there. So we'll go to a bit of topaz blue, and there they come in the door, and also in the cup holders as well. So quite a cool option is the ambient lighting. I do like it personally. You can go into both the seats as well on there, and you can change the balance of how you want it heated, so you can have it more onto your bum or onto your back, depending on what your preference is. Coming back from it, you just push the home button, and that brings you back to the home on there. So coming down onto the main menu, this is your quick access menu on here. You might not have the, it might not show you the buttons at the top, so the satellite, so you just get the little few lines on there and drag that down, which gives you the quick access. So it takes you to nav, media, and phone on there very quickly, okay, as well as your settings. Also in your settings, you can go to certain things such as your vehicle, and then you can go to, if you want the locking, so if you want them all the doors to open up or lock whilst driving. This one's got keyless entry, so you've got your tailgate comfort access as well, so you can just rub your foot underneath the bumper and that will open up the door. So there's lots of different options on there depending on how you want to control it. So that goes into settings on there. Your climate control on here is pretty straightforward really. It's touchscreen, so you can turn it on, you can push in the middle for auto. If you push sync on here, this will also sync you both at the side. Your vents on here are fixed, so these do not move, and on your dashboard as well. So to get quickly to your aircon menu, you push menu aircon. That comes up on here. So your aircon menu, you can go to individual on here, and you can see the fans, and you can drag where you want your fans to go, which direction, and also how powerful you want your fans to open. So it can be a little bit fiddly to start with, but it's pretty cool, keeping in with the car. And then you can keep on here how powerful you want it. You can have it strong, medium and soft, and also where you want the fans to go, windscreen, body, feet, etc. So that quickly gets up to there just by pushing the menu aircon. So through time, you do get used to it. You've got your usual front windscreen, rear windscreen on here, plus your maximum aircon. So if you get in the car and it's really hot, you can push that and it will blast the cold air through to you like so. Push that and it will go back to how you had it. You've got your heated seats on here, which you just knock off one at a time. And you also, this particular one has got a ventilated seat option as well. So that just knocks off on there as well. You down here, you've got your boot, so you can push that and it comes up on here. So you can pop your front boot, and then you can open your rear boot by pushing the button on there, like so. So you go on here, and then the great thing now is if you hold the close button down, that also closes your boot as well and beeps. But you do have to keep your finger on the button to close. You can open up your charging ports if you have the option of the electric charging port covers, which again is a big option that I think you really need. It's about £450 and I think they're worth every penny. You've also got your battery charging on here, showing you charge. So again, this is very low, so we're going to put this on charge now whilst it's in the showroom. And then you've got your parking assist on here. So depending on the options, this one has just got reverse camera, and then you've got your front and rear park assist proximity on here, and you can clean the camera on the rear as well on there. Close that and takes it back. You've got your volume on here, and then you've also got your power button on here. With your volume button on here, not really sure how often you're going to use this, but it's there anyway. In your cup holders in here, you've got your USBs, and you've also got your clip in there for your wireless charger for model year 21 cars, and that gives you your wireless Apple CarPlay as well. The other cool thing now as well in the Porsches, in the Taycan, you can simply be driving along and you go, "Hey Porsche," and then it just comes up on there, very much like "Hey Siri," and you can ask it to do various things on there for you. So you can say, "Hey Porsche, please,
How can I help you?
Please turn on my driver's heated seat." What's this?
I have switched on the seat heating.
Thank you. So there's just various things on there as well, but I do hope this video has been useful, showing you some of the controls, some of the basics in the new Porsche Taycan, because under current circumstances with the pandemic, I know that a lot of people are clicking and collecting and not having a thorough handover. Virtual handovers are very in at the moment and very useful. So I hope this video helps. Comment below. I'll see you soon.